Hey. Hello, my YouTube friends. My name is Maureen from His Gracious Science. I'm going to be welcoming everyone that is going to be watching this evening via replay or via live. If you're watching me for the first time, thank you so much. And I hope that this will inspire you to create your very own patriotic fabric flower, and also just to inspire you to just be creative and get painting. Now, if this is your first time watching, welcome, and don't forget to give this a like, a little heart, and or thumbs up, and also to follow this page. All right, this channel. So what I have here, and I'm going for my Facebook friends, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it. So what I'm going to be doing for this patriotic um, fabric flowers, I'm going to be using this milk glass pot that I got at a thrift store, and I'm going to be using some denim for today because it's a stiff fabric. I'm also going to be using some burlap, and this is a white burlap. And I see Sonia's from She Sheds Sensations. Thank you so much for being here. I use the next one, Sonia. I just want to make sure that we're watching you after. And we're also going to be using what is the inside of the stretch canvas. So if you have one of these stretch canvas like this is what I'm using to make my red fabric. And that is because I don't have any red fabric on hand that is kind of more of a stiff fabric. But we could use different. We were talking about with my Facebook friends, we are talking about using stiffeners such as glue and water mixture. Of course, you have to dry it, and you could use, someone's talk about hairspray was a great idea, but starch for your fabrics. So here I have already pre-started, and I'm using some flamenco red apple barrel color. Here it is. It's just about 50 cents, give or take. Prices have been fluctuating lately, and I'm going to be painting, making my very own red for my patriotic fabric flower. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and leave a small piece of white. Then I'm going to go ahead and just keep a small piece of white right here. And this is, I'm going to tell you why we're going to be needing this in a minute, but I'm going to leave that. So here I have already started to paint with the flamenco red, and that is an acrylic paint. And I'm going to be painting the other piece of fabric, and this is the canvas fabric that we got from the stretch canvas. All right, how's your, today is, wait, let me remember, Wednesday. Wednesday, May the 21st. So if you're watching on a later date, that's when we are doing this live. All right. And if you're watching me for the first time, thank you so much. Just want to let you know that you could also reach us on Facebook. Here we have some friends there. I see some of you already saying hi, and say hi, hello, Gojo and Mystery and Izzy. How are you? Let me know where you guys are watching from, and if crafting is something that you guys like to do. We're doing some patriotic fabric flowers. I'm gonna go ahead and put my brush to the side and start gonna close this up because we, heavens knows, we don't want any accidents with a big red paint bottle. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start drying this. And now this is the time where we start thinking what size we want our flowers to be. All right, hello from Arizona to Nara. How are you? And thank you those that are sprinkling out. That means sharing it out on your social media pages. Also want to let you know that I am also, you can find me on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, you can find me on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can find me on Facebook. Oh, thank you, Sisterhood. Hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And I am making a patriotic fabric flower that we're going to be kind of starting to decorate a little milk glass jar or milk glass pot. So just something to kind of do a little bit more of a rustic style, primitive in a way, if we want to make it a little more dingy. Well, depending on the finishes that you want to use, you could also turn it your style. How are you today, Colleen? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's late here on this Thursday. It's about 10:20 here on the eastern side. I'm all the way in Florida. So, see, Tara, how are you? Thank you for being here. By the way, if you are crafting lovers, check out my page, check out my channel, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, give it a thumbs up. All right, so this is almost all fully dried, and this is the stretch canvas fabric that I'm using. Look at that. Look how bright it is. Nice, that crimson red color. And again, I use the red by Flamenco Red by Apple Barrel, and that's like $1 a little bottle, you guys. Looks great. Thank you. All right. So this one also looks like it's all completely done. Now, let me go ahead and while I have put that on the side, let me show you what else I have. Over on this side, let me show you what I have for my round. I have a piece of wood, and this is a round wood. I want to say, don't have my ruler with me, but I want to say this is about about 3.5 to 4 inches of a round. Now, you do not have to use this. You could also use a piece of cardboard if you like. So anything's kind of strong that it's going to hold the back. Now you could also reuse, if in case you're trying to reuse and repurpose some items, you could use kind of like the lid of a can, the lid of when you know those round candle holders, you could use that as well. So I have choices for what's going to be the center of my flower. Here is a kind of like a star, and this is from a piece of jewelry. And or this one says he's risen, but we're going to cover that, and I like the scalloped edge that this has. So think about something that is going to give you that center that you're looking for. All right, let's get to work and get put this together. So what I'm going to use here is that I want something that is going to give me this shape, and that I did not get out, so take out. So I'm going to find here, come around, and I want to find and see what will give me about that shape, that circular shape that I want. So let me see if this will do. I think the bottom of this might just do it. And this is for the purposes of just tracing. So I'm going to take my old, and this is just a piece of old denim. You know, the ones that don't longer fit you. And you know, when I keep it around to remind you that it doesn't fit you. You know, that kind of thing. So I'm going to take just a pen, and I'm going to just make my markings to make a circle. Now out of this, I'm going to do another one, because out of this, you guys, we're going to be needing about six to 8 circle little rounds here from each color fabric. And that is according to how much you want to put on each one. Now, obviously, we're doing a patriotic one. The stars are cool. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna go ahead and get my small scissors, and let's start cutting. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just rip it halfway, and I'm going to fold it just to make sure that it's giving me. Let's do 3 at a time, 3 circles at a time. Now the blue, obviously, we're going to use it for the stars. So we're going to get going here. So we may not use as much blue as we may need for the other colors. And I should have used a little larger scissors. So let me just whip up my other fabric scissors, because it will cut this time in half. I do keep my fabric scissors in a box, and that is because I don't want to use it for other things, because it will make them dull. So I just kind of just keep them in there to just remind me not to use them for other things. So how are you guys? It is hot. Did you guys see in the stories today, I put 102 degrees, you guys, 102. Okay, so I have my 3 circle rounds here. I'm gonna use this side. And let's get some more. I already have it drawn out. If I find it here, I'm going to do 3 more. Don't forget, you guys, that anybody could do this. If you don't have, also, I'll let you know, if you don't want to make it out of fabric, you could obviously make it out of paper, right? That's another idea. Make it out of paper using scrapbooking paper or wrapping paper, or even paper that you color on. Kind of like a cardstock would be good. So this is a good project to use recycled items. Good one like that. All right, so now that I have my circles in blue, let's get starting to get cutting on the circle rounds for my white. Now this one is a little bit more, a lot easier to cut. It's a little thinner, I guess, because of all of the different, how can I say, the threading, I guess, what might be the word. So I'm gonna just put it here. Cut my square. I'm gonna quickly cut around it. By the way, those of you that are joining me on Facebook, on YouTube, want to let you know that if you're over in Facebook and you love crafting, there is a group called Craft from the Clock, and it's also actually on YouTube, where you may be able to go ahead and find crafting. It's a crafting community, big crafting community. So check us out. So how many of the white? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get some more done. Let's go for the 8. All right. You all, I have this trigger thumb here, so as I'm cutting, it's kind of, doesn't feel very pleasant. But it's good. It's fine. It's fine. It's not, I'm not hurting myself, so it just doesn't feel as pleasant as it used to before. All right, I'm gonna have just a little bit. Now we're going to go for red. Look how thick this fabric is, you guys. We painted it on this side, but on this side, still white, right? Hey, Anita, how are you? Weave. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. The weave of the fabric. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. And I'm going to write it out. I'm gonna go ahead and just draw it. Might be a lot easier because I'm gonna cut it. I'll go ahead and fold it one more time. All right. Now, pinking shears would be a great thing to use if you have them. All right, no judgment on my circle cutting skills. They're a little wonky, but that's all right. All right, so I cut 4 out of this. Let's see if I could get 4 more from the other side. So then we'll be able to get all of our fabrics done. I'm gonna save this little bit just in case we need to get one more out of that. So we'll see. Hopefully we might be able. It's a little thin, it's a little narrow. I mean, we might just be able to make it work. Let's see. Might just have to turn it into a little oval. Oh. Who's ready for Memorial Day? It's already so hot here. 102 set my the temperature in my car's console. The exterior temperature was 102. It definitely felt like 102. All right, so now that we got everything done here, let's get started on gluing. Thank you for those that are starting to come in, even more friends here. All right, so let's get gluing. Let's go ahead, and we have our circles. Yes, thank you for the hearts, Anita. All right, so I'm going to get my round. I'm gonna get some hot glue. You could also use some tacky glue if you have some, if you prefer not to use hot glue. So what I'm going to start is I'm going to divide. So let's think about this. So I'm going to divide this in half. Okay, see that line? And then I'm going to divide it in half again on the other side. Kind of like making a north, south, east, and west kind of thing. Now this 1/4 of it is where I'm going to be adding, oh Mary, yeah, it was so hot. I'm going to be gluing my blue ones, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do. Now, depending on how big you want your flowers to go, we're going to fold them in half, just like this. So here's my circle. We're going to fold them in half. Be sure that you're showing the color that you want to expose the most. And now I'm going to fold it in half again. Now this is going to give me this position, okay? So I could also put them this way, you guys, and that's going to give me more of a three-dimensional flower. If you wanted to have more of a bigger flower, you could just do half of it, just like this. See? So it depends on how big do you want your flower to be, what's the finish that you want to give your flower. So just take a look at those different things. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pleat it, I'm going to put it in fours, but as I fold it, I've noticed that what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and leave it and overlap it, but not other way. I'm going to show you that, see that? So I'm coming kind of like halfway and folding it. So I'm folding it in half and I'm folding it in fours. But when I'm folding it in fours, I don't want my two ends to meet. I'm folding it kind of halfway. The reason what I'm doing that is so that way it could give me more of a look of as if I have more petals. So I'm just tricking the eye. So as I do that, I'm going to first start gluing my fabric in here and there. So now that one is already done. I'm going to glue this one right here, and that is the bend or the fold here. That way my fabric is not going to kind of get undone as much. So now that's what I have. See? Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to start filling this up or filling it in. But let's go ahead and work and make all of our petals first to make sure that we have a more cohesive look. And from Oklahoma, Caroline, how are you, my dear? This is your first time watching. Let us know. We want to make sure that we give you the royal welcome. So I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to fold it in fours, making sure that I leave a little space, I guess, as I am folding it. So here's number 2. These are, notice how all of a sudden, look at that. See now how that looks already like as if I have more petals. See that? So that's just 2 rounds. So just a matter of tricking the eye. So we may not even need, to be honest with you, we may not even need the entire, how many did I make? About 8, 6 or 8. You may not need them all, so we'll see. You could make more. Okay, that's using 3 rounds. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more. Fold it in half, and then I'm gonna overlap it, fold it over, and I'm going to not overlap it completely. I'm leaving a gap. Just want to make sure you guys can see that well. I'm leaving a gap. There. So I think I'm happy with the amount of petals that this gives me. So I'm gonna leave that there. Now let's go ahead and work on our other colors, which is the red. And of course, we're gonna be making a pattern, right? So I'm going to do exactly the same with my other ones. You know, it gets a little repetitive, but repetition is good when it comes to the fact that you could do this and watch something and listen to other things, right? I like those kind of projects, the kind of projects that I could kind of check my mind out, check out, and just enjoy it. I'm gonna leave those kind of like for the end, just because they're a little bit not full. There it is. So who's going away? You guys going away? Any big plans for Memorial Day? We are just planning, believing that we're going to be hitting the beach. It's going to be a hot day over here in Central Florida. It's hot already. So, and I think we're going to be 94 or 95, which in reality, guys, it feels like 100 or something. Thank you. We got 6 friends here. So before you leave, if you liking this and if you're a crafter, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I would love for you to subscribe. So just be sure. And of course, in Facebook, if you're still, I forgot who's Lena Boutiques. I forgot. She was saying yesterday. It's like, you know, haven't we dated for too long? She was saying, just go ahead and commit and hit that subscribe button. I found it so hilarious when she said that yesterday. So I'm like, that's a good one. All right. I'm going to put my part that is a little bit white. I'm going to put it on the back, making sure that it's not showing. There it is. I think I did a good job hiding it. All right, so I think I got enough. I'm going to do the last one here. Same thing. All right. So we got our reds and we got all our blues. Let's go ahead and do the whites. For this white, I'm going to be using my finger protectors. And the reason is, you guys, is because I have burned my fingers way too many times with my burlap. And for that, it's kind of like a known, you know, when you have suspect that you know that it hurts you and you don't want to be hurt by. Yeah, that's burlap for me. Burlap has burned me before. So much. Hi, Natalie Marie. Thank you so much for being here, love. You know what this looks like, you guys? It looks like those fortune cookies. Those Chinese fortune cookies. It really does. It's really fun. So here, I'm just using this, you guys, because honestly, I have gotten burned. Okay, let me know, have you gotten really burned by the hot glue? With me, it has been always burlap. So I have learned my lesson and I treat it with respect. By the way, these fingers protectors, you could find them on these I find them a Dollar Tree, but of course you could find this anywhere. And just search the internet for silicone finger protectors for crafting. But I think, you know, $1.25 for a set of 4 is a good price. It's a decent price, I guess, by Dollar Tree, where nothing is a dollar anymore. I think the only thing that is a dollar at Dollar Tree, it's cards, right? Just think they haven't fully raised the price on some of those, even though they have already in some. Yes, dripped on my leg. Oh, the other day I have a big burn, Tanya. I am so sorry. Oh, that's painful. This one came apart. Sometimes burlap just needs a minute to glue. This one did, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and let it be. Let me see. Yeah, burlap sometimes it needs just a minute to just get glued. The other thing that did it for me when it comes to burning is I had rubbed on my fingers, using my fingers, I rubbed rub and buff. You know, the rub and buff we all know. So I rubbed it onto whatever it is I was making. And then I went ahead and put the glue, and I used my finger to kind of just rub whatever little bit of glue was left over. You know, the kind of thing that we do, we just wipe away the hot glue. And I had the rub and buff already on my finger from rubbing it, whatever, before. You all, let me just tell you, that was a serious burn. It hurt because the rub and buff is a metallic cream, right? Metallic rub-on thing, and once you have that metallic on your finger, it just makes things. You know how you sometimes we do aluminum and we put or we put hot glue on a metal surface, and it just intensifies the heat. That's how it felt on my finger, and I had a blister after that. Listen, when you're a crafter, it takes something special to give you a blister because you have, you know, developed calluses in your fingers and your fingertips. You develop calluses, let's be honest. So did I do every okay, one more. So anyways, I had that rub and buff, which is a metallic kind of rub on cream. Oh goodness, it hurt. It hurt. I had a blister, and it kind of blew up, and I didn't take it off. I didn't take it off because I knew that if I take it off, that, you know, if I popped it, I don't know, with everything that I do, it's probably going to get worse or get infected or something. So I just left it. It took us several days, but it healed fine. But it hurt. It hurt. All right, I'm going to get going because I have like about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing. So I'm going to start with the white. Well, I'm going to start with a blue. So I'm going to start with the blue. Now, how can I say, the flattest part is the one that you're going to be gluing down. So I want to show you so that you guys can see. The part that doesn't have any crevices, any creases, any bends. So this part right here that doesn't have any bends, that's the one that you're going to be putting your hot glue on and gluing. So I'm going to lift this one just a little bit and put my next one in. So that way I have kind of like a little bit of ruffles on here. So I'm going to go ahead and push this one down, and I'm going to put my next one in just to create the illusion of a ruffle. I'm going to put my next one here. And there. So now I cover a fourth, and by saying a fourth is because I could lift this one up and add my next one. So let's go ahead and start with the red, and I'll go ahead and add it right on there. I'm gonna do it the fast way, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of bring my fabrics over. And just I already put the glue on there. Red, white, red, white. Make sure you're making your pattern and that you don't skip on a color. Because it will not look good as a flag. There it is. So let me know if this is something pretty easy, easy peasy. That's how we like it. Oopsie, I glued it the wrong way. And I'm gonna squeeze my white right in here. So this is my flower so far. Okay. Now notice that in the center you need something. So that's where my round is going to come on. Now I know it says it is risen. Disregard that. That's the reason why we went ahead and did a little bit of circle here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold it. I'm going to create my square. And make sure that it's something that is going to fit there. So here is, hopefully I got it right. It doesn't feel like it. Let me see. I cut it short. Let's take a look. Let's try this again. Okay. So here it is. Let's fold it kind of like and make our circle. So here is a little circular. It's a little bit smaller. You could do the same thing with your burlap if you like. A little bit smaller because I really want the scallop to be seen. And how about we could put the star in the middle. We could go ahead and do a stencil if you like. See that right on there? That covers it up perfectly. I put that, cover that up. And now nobody knows that it says it is risen. See that? Oh, thank you, Tammy. Let's go ahead and since we're doing something rustic, I am going to use a little bit of my wax. I use my antique wax here by Bears. And I'm going to remove some white. And I'm going to get a little bit of brown or a little bit of dinginess. Now you could go ahead and give this another finish. If you want to use gold in the middle, that's up to you. I will go for that too. But just because we're keeping it kind of a rustic color, I'm going to put that on there. And you all, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to go ahead and just put it on there. And then we're going to be adding the stars on our blue. Put that down, press it down. I see that here's. And by the way, if you are on Craft on the Clock, if you're watching from Craft on the Clock, forgive me that I'm giving you my back right now, you guys. But if you are on Craft on the Clock, please go to the next presenter. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick some of these very small half pearls. You could also use buttons. By the way, guys, I am hoping to be tomorrow here early on Craft on the Clock. And when I mean early, it's probably about 7:45-ish Eastern time. I'm gonna put one more. Oh, I lied. I'll put him there one more. Okay. So here is our little American flower flag, patriotic flag. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're gonna go ahead and add our little star in the center. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm gonna be adding a little bit of that wax just to kind of get it a little bit more of the same look. And remember that hot glue is not going to give you the permanent hold that you want. So you're probably going to add something like a Crazy Glue E6000. All right, so you guys, here it is. Hope you guys like it. There's a patriotic flower. I'm going to stick it to a stem, kind of like a stick, and put it right here, perhaps to a couple of more. And that is going to fill up my little vase, my little pot, my little flower pot. Isn't that lovely? It kind of goes this way. I know, but I'm trying. It's gonna look opposite. It's gonna look the other way. Hi, Vicky. How are you? And Audrey, thank you so much for being here. All right, if you're watching me via YouTube, if you're watching me through Facebook, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I had a fun time making this, and I hope that you find lots more inspirational crafting on my page, His Grocery Science Official on Facebook, and His Grocery Science here on YouTube. In the meantime, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and, of course, a follow. Hey, by the way, I want to make sure that you guys have a wonderful night. May God bless you. May God keep you. Make His face shine upon you. And may the good Lord grant you His peace. You have a beautiful evening and the rest of your week. All right, take care. Let me know how you like it. Let me know in the comments. And if you're on Craft on the Clock, you're going to go to the next presenter. And we are just a few minutes behind. I'm going to make sure that we leave you here. Here we go. And did I do that? Yes. Done. And thank you so much, you guys. Hope you enjoy this. I enjoy crafting with you. Any questions before I leave you? Any questions that you may have around this? Let me know in the comments. I am right here right now. So if you have any comments, you can watch it from the beginning, but I think I went over some of the flower choices. Fabric choices. And let me know, what else would you use this for? How else would you display it? I thought it was pretty cute. All right. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a good evening.